The Stoic warrior's mindset. Build unshakable confidence like Marcus Aurelius and Arjuna. Philosophy spotlight, Stoicism. Stoicism, born in the bustling academies of Athens and later crystallized by Greek thinkers such as Epictetus, was embraced and refined by Rome's greatest emperor, Marcus Aurelius. In simple terms, Stoicism teaches that we cannot control the world around us, but we can always control our judgments, our emotions, and our actions. Because of this distinction, Stoics cultivate a fortress of calm that guards against fear, anger, and despair. Historical figure Marcus Aurelius. While marching his armies across the Danube, he wrote in his personal journal, The Meditations, that the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. His calm mind turned every hardship into a training ground for resilience. 3 lessons that modern warriors can carry into today's world. 1. Focus relentlessly on what is in your control, your thoughts, your response, your behavior. 2. View obstacles as opportunities to practice virtue and patience. 3. Cultivate equanimity. Accept what you cannot change and act wisely on what you can. In the following 5 chapters, each story draws from the same Stoic well, weaving together the timeless wisdom of Marcus and the heroic ethos of Arjuna, so that your own confidence remains steadier than a sea-tossed ship. Chapter 1. The Battlefield of the Mind. In a moonlit glade, the great warrior Arjuna knelt in front of Lord Krishna, heart full of doubt. The great war lay ahead, armies on both sides, and the field seemed to promise death, not glory. Krishna told Arjuna that the field is not a place of physical battle alone, but a battlefield of the soul. Confidence comes when you look beyond the weapons and view the battlefield as a stage where your thoughts fight. The insight for today is simple and powerful. Our greatest warrior is not the one who wields the sword, but the mind that does not tremble when the blows of criticism and doubt land. To apply it, begin with breath. When you face a heated meeting, a looming deadline, or a critical performance, pause. Inhale slowly for 5 seconds, exhale for 5. Let the pause become a silent shield, a moment where you remind yourself that you hold the choice of how you respond. Conclusion. Like a disciplined fighter who trains for every possible attack, your mental rehearsal turns doubt into a learned reaction, sharpening your confidence. Call to action. If this lesson resonates, give us a like, share it with a fellow warrior, and subscribe so we can navigate more battles together. Reflective question. In what place of your life do you feel the mental battlefield is most intense, and how can you practice that calm breath before you step into it? Chapter 2. The Emperor's Calm. While crossing the Rhine, Marcus Aurelius, surrounded by a band of weary soldiers, turned to his journal and wrote that the universe is a circle which is filled with movement. He reminds himself that the universe itself is indifferent to personal triumphs, yet it is your attitude that defines how you will endure. His words of the day were simple. Remember that it is not the event itself that rattles you, but your judgment. The lesson, the greatest confidence, stems from the discipline of daily reflection. How to apply it today? Pick 10 minutes before bed or first thing in the morning and write down what you were grateful for and where you could improve. Focus on 2 things you controlled and 1 that you did not. By mapping the distinction between control and influence, you train your mind to see your power over your reactions. Conclusion. Just as Marcus kept his journal in a dusty tent with little more than a candle, your small daily practice can become a beacon in times of darkness. Call to action. Hit like if you've never tried a mindful journal, share this with someone who needs the ritual, and subscribe for more Stoic strategies. Reflective question. Which aspect of your day do you find yourself judging the most, and how could you reframe it by seeing the difference between what you control and what you do not? Chapter 3. The Prepared Warrior. The ancient Greeks had a saying, "For the sake of hope, you must first take risk." Yet their warriors practiced a daily ritual of premeditatio malorum, the anticipation of difficulty. Before each battle, they imagined the worst outcomes, rehearsing their actions and staying calm when reality unfolded. Similarly, Aurelius advised his soldiers to mentally rehearse every possible scenario so that when an enemy appears, their minds are already set. The insight, preparing mentally for the worst, frees your mind to act decisively in the present. Practical application. Choose a challenge you are currently facing, a presentation, a negotiation, a performance, and write down the top 3 possible setbacks. Now, mentally walk through how you will respond to each, remaining calm and focused. Doing this practice transforms feared unknowns into a series of practiced, controlled actions. Conclusion: you can only fight a battle you have imagined. The less the brain can surprise you, the more confidence you hold. Call to action. Like this chapter, if you've ever read your fears in writing, share it with a friend who hates uncertainty, and subscribe to learn more rituals. Reflective question: how often do you let an imagined scenario become a self-fulfilling prophecy, and what could you do to preempt that with calm rehearsal? Chapter 4: The Virtue of Honor. Arjuna's courage was not a product of divine gifts but of steadfast virtue. He was asked, "What is it that you value most?" He answered with honor, duty, and the willingness to fight for truth. The Greeks, too, valued the courage born from virtue, a virtue that steadied the mind against the storm. The lesson: unshakable confidence springs from living in harmony with a single, core value. Application for today: identify one personal virtue that defines your life, be it honesty, perseverance, or generosity. Make a daily pledge to express that virtue in one action. Whether it's telling the truth in a tense conversation or staying present for a long project, each act tightens the bond between values and confidence. Conclusion: when you act from a place of deep integrity, external applause or criticism can scarcely disturb your inner conviction. Call to action: if you found a virtue you want to live by, hit the like button, share it to inspire others, and subscribe for a constant flow of inner strength teachings. Reflective question: which virtue do you believe most solidly anchors your self-belief, and how deliberately are you acting on it each day? Chapter 5: The Legacy of Endurance. In the final chapter of his life, Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The universe is change, our life is what we make of it." He did not seek fame, he pursued a legacy of calm leadership. Even Arjuna, after the Great War, returned to his village, humbled by the knowledge that true heroism is not the roar of victory, but the quiet resilience of a mind at peace. The lesson: confidence is not merely a personal state. It is a thread that weaves through and fortifies generational legacy. Practical step: set one long-term goal that embodies the kind of legacy you want to leave behind. Break it into micro goals that you can check off each week. With each small triumph, watch the confidence that grows out of steady progress. Your legacy will be the sum of these incremental acts of courage. Conclusion: the Stoic warrior knows that the most enduring confidence is the confidence that can inspire others, that can withstand both criticism and success alike. Call to action: if you're ready to weave the tapestry of your legacy, keep liking, share, and subscribe so we can build these unshakable threads together. Reflective question: what single action you can commit to today will serve as the cornerstone for the legacy you hope to create? Closing reflection: the stories of Arjuna and Marcus Aurelius remind us that a warrior's mind is an instrument that must be tuned daily. By focusing on what can be controlled, practicing mental rehearsal, honoring core virtues, and setting a legacy-driven path, we build a confidence that remains unshaken, whether the battlefield is physical or a battlefield of the mind. Remember, confidence is not a fortress you build once and then abandon. It is a garden that needs constant tending. Take the lessons we have explored, plant them in your daily routine, and watch your courage grow. If you found this journey enlightening, give us a like, share it with a fellow seeker of inner strength, and subscribe for more timeless wisdom that keeps the warrior spirit alive.